Ball, Lonzo Ball,
Of
the
course.
Ball brothers.
Yeah, the Ball brothers. Yeah, of course. All right. Welcome back to the Underground Fanatic Podcast. I'm here with my co-host
Gerard Hammond.
and my guest.
Tommy Gunn.
How's everyone doing?
I'm doing good, man. Long day, a little exhausted. Took a while to get this podcast out, but we finally here.
I know, man. It took us you don't even want to know how many tries it took us to get this started, but
We here though.
we here now. How's the semester going for you guys so far?
I mean, it's going pretty smooth so far. Just busy. That's just the main thing. I feel like more semesters we go through, the busier it gets. So that's what I can say.
Yeah, no, for sure. I feel like the semester it's been pretty light one for me. But I try to stay busy, so I guess it's been a little bit busy, but for the most part, like classes related, I got a pretty light workload this semester. So, but next semester is about to be crazy. So,
Sure, junior year is definitely like the toughest year in my opinion because it doesn't get any easier as you get into college. But hey, let's get into the main topics, man. So introduce yourself.
all right. So my name is Tommy Gunn. I'm studying here at Florida International, sports management major. I'm an aspiring sports agent. That's where my passion is. That's what I've been wanting to do for a while now, ever since I was about 15. I was born in Nashville, Tennessee. My dad, he played basketball for Middle Tennessee State University, top 10 all-time leading scorer there. So, basketball has really been in my family for a long time now. After his career at Middle Tennessee, played overseas in France, the Portiers. He had about a 7-year European career playing over there overseas that I got to experience with him too. So, being in professional sports was something that really opened my eyes to, especially, in the Euro League. Like, it's a real cutthroat business out there when you're playing overseas because everybody trying to get that check so they can get back to the NBA. So a lot of agents and stuff, like my dad didn't have the proper guidance to, make the right decisions for him so he could get to the NBA, which is where he eventually wanted to be. So, I feel like if I can be that, pillar of like guidance for young athletes and stuff, especially in basketball, not only in basketball, but football, every sport, because they always need that money. It's a hard thing to manage, especially when you, coming from nothing and stepping into millions of dollars on a contract. Like, a lot of them don't know what to do. They start spending and splurging. But, they always need somebody with, that proper guidance to guide them in the right way. So, that's really my main focus, what I want to do, what I want to provide for all my clients in the future, for sure.
That's interesting. That's actually a crazy story. So, like, how was it being able to view your dad as a professional overseas? Was it like, dang, my dad is actually, like, a professional basketball player. He has fans, stuff like that. So, like, how did your life translate to that, basically?
Yeah, so when I was younger, well, you don't really realize, like, what's going on until, like, as you get older, how special, like, when you go to school, finally get to school, and then kids is like, oh, your dad plays for Portiers or Besançon, like some of the teams he was playing for. They know him. They know of your dad, like, more than you just know him as your dad. You don't know him as, like, a professional athlete. So, yeah, it was, I mean, I see it now. Like, I look at it like not a lot of people could say that their parents play professional basketball, even if it wasn't the NBA or anything like that. That's still an achievement. So, I don't feel too special about it, because he's my dad still. But, it's cool to look back on it and know that, he made it to a level that not a lot of people, get to experience. And I got to live alongside with him out there for a while too. So that was, it's pretty cool to think about it.
That's cool.
No, that's dope. I mean, and since your dad was such a professional, were you also training as a kid, or, was he kind of like you was just relaxing, just doing your own thing?
Yeah, so me, I was a unique kid. Like, I never really wanted to play basketball, surprisingly. Like, throughout my life, like, I was into like baseball a lot when I was younger. I wanted to be a baseball player. I wanted to be a football player. I wanted to play soccer.
Yeah.
Everything but basketball. But as I got older and realized like, like my dad, I don't think it was like, trying to be different, like trying to be unique, find my own thing. Of course I watched basketball. I was always good at it, but I never really wanted to, like pursue that. I always like something else. But the older I got, like the more like I was like, man, what am I doing? Like I need to go ahead and start putting in some work to play basketball. It was my goal to play college basketball somewhere, just to pay for my college for the most part. Like I never really had no NBA dreams or anything like that, but I did want it to be my outlet to pay for college. And then, of course, like COVID and everything shut down, but I put in a lot of work in basketball. So that was definitely something like playing in college, maybe where he went, or like, trying to break some of those records that he broke was definitely a goal of mine. But, all in all, I think I found, what I really wanted to do.
That's actually amazing, because you found your purpose early in life, and the knowledge that you have, you can actually help people out with that.
100%.
And with that, basically, since you have prior knowledge playing in sports as an agent, so how is it when you're an agent that has prior experience in playing sports compared to another agent that hasn't had the experience playing sports?
Yeah, that's a good question, because like what you're trying to say is like, somebody that's already been through, like played that sport aspect of the sport, then representing somebody that plays the same sport that they did, so they already had the experience of that. Like, you'd be surprised, a lot of agents, they have no athletic experience or anything like that. They're really well connected. Maybe come from a family of like businessmen. People that like, it was something that they just grew up to do, to represent athletes. A lot of them, like, probably never played above high school or like college or anything like that. So when there are a few like NBA players that after their career they'll go and get into player representation, but what it takes, what type of support and guidance you need to give to somebody for them to like achieve their potential. So when you've actually like lived and been through that, it's easier for somebody to trust you, because like, a lot of players, when they're selecting their agent, trust is a big thing, because you're dealing with all their money. Like you're in charge of controlling their finances, making sure they get as much money as possible. When you're negotiating their contracts, you literally have their whole livelihood in your hands, like their whole financial whatever they have going on financially is in your hands. So trust is important. And then that, from your experience, that, after a bad season, you're trying to negotiate a contract for your client. You should know his value and know what he has to bring to the sport, because you've been through it, you've been in that situation, what type of, help and support, that they're going to need, because it's not always going to be easy. It's going to be, some tough times.
So that kind of brings me to the question, do you feel like there's been some scenarios where athletes were failed because of their agent?
100%. Yeah, so let me think of a pretty good example. LaMelo Ball, Lonzo Ball.
Of course.
The
Ball brothers. Yeah, of course.
They had their agent, Alan Foster, like he used to be on the Ball in the Family show with them and stuff like that. They got into like a big beef over money that he was like skimming off the top of. Like apparently he took millions of dollars from them, like
I remember that,
deals and stuff like that. So he was their agent. He was the one that was in charge of their finances, making sure they're receiving their money for their endorsements and stuff that they're doing. So that's a clear-cut example of somebody, you trusting somebody with like something as important as your finances and your livelihood, and him going around and taking your money for his own personal gain. There's a lot of people, especially when you get to overseas basketball, like you get over in Europe, like, my dad is even like, he's told me stories of agents that he's had that have been, like skimming money off the top. Because you won't even know it until you like dig a little bit deeper. Skimming money off the top, not properly negotiating, not getting him enough money for what he's worth,
Right.
stuff like that. So those are all things that go into it. But yeah, there's probably a lot of agents out there right now that's skimming money off the top that players still don't know. So it'll come to fruition.
Yeah, there's so many stories. Like one example, we could go off the Lakers. You guys remember the Lakers were on the 2020 championship, right?
Yeah.
And everyone was wondering why Dwight Howard never re-signed. But his agent at the time actually scammed him.
Yeah, I read about that. Where
Exactly.
He was saying that his agent didn't even, or he wanted to re-sign with the Lakers or something, but his agent never told him that the Lakers deal had offered him a position of coming back for an amount of money. So obviously, like, it's clear to see that another team that came in and offered him more money than the Lakers were offering him, even though he was happy with the Lakers. So you have to take like things like that into account. You will take a pay cut to stay somewhere where you're happy and where you feel like you belong. So his agent just wanted a bigger commission, like a bigger cut. So he wanted his player to accept the larger amount of money that they were offering, because the Lakers max deals, LeBron, AD, stuff like that. So 100% they were offering him less than what another team wanted, but he didn't want to be there. So as an agent, you got to make sure you're keeping your client's best interest in mind, for sure.
That makes sense.